Hello.
Fuck.
Long time no see, y'all.
Fuck.
We missed y'all. I hope y'all missed us.
I didn't even squeeze it. No, I'm recording. I just want to smoke a little more.
Yeah,
I started laughing, so that just fucked up the whole hit.
I'm sorry. Hey, but I hope all of y'all have been well. Good health and prosperity to all of y'all.
Yep. I hope everyone's chilling in the house. The Delta hasn't got anyone.
Yeah, the Delta, you know. But anyways, today's a very special episode of the Modern Cast because we want to talk about John Coltrane's new or newly released rather, because John Coltrane is very much dead.
What do you call it?
The post-mortem album. It was a recording of him performing "A Love Supreme" with his quartet in Seattle, live in Seattle. This came out in October, I believe, October 20th is when this re-recording came out. And what I'm looking at right now on Spotify is that they have, at least on Spotify, they have the Platinum Collection, which is every recording of Love Supreme we have available. So
what the fuck?
Yeah, it has the original recording, and then it has, with the deluxe version, it came with the performance they had in France. And then now they have a disc 3, which is live in Seattle. And now what I'm seeing here too is they have a disc 4 where they have like basically like B-sides, like or like the mono references or vocal overdubs, or like different takes that they have, basically just everything they have on A Love Supreme.
Yeah, I just found it right now. It's like 4 hours long.
Mm-hmm. It's like super deluxe definitive edition. And but what we want to talk about is the live in Seattle recording, which was just released.
Do you know why it was released? I feel like I didn't really look up why it was released. I wonder.
So from what I was reading on NPR is that let's see a quote. So this recording was in the festival jazz. I don't want to mispronounce it. I'm sorry. I'm trying in my head to pronounce it before I say it.
Hey, if you're gonna mispronounce it, I'm definitely gonna mispronounce it.
The Festival Jazz de Antibes in Juan Les Pins, France. And then but the Antibes recording had stood, and I'm quoting this, as a long living document of Coltrane's suite until today, when Impulse announced the October release of the Live in Seattle recording, which was this last October that just passed. And it's an absolutely crazy clear release. You know, it really is like a brand new studio recording of this album that nobody's heard yet, but it was live. You know, the crowd is faintly there in the background.
Well, like which all good jazz is, is live. And I'm just thinking when listening to this album, just thinking about like all the jazz that was going on, bro, before, like the ones that weren't recorded, bro.
Absolutely, yeah.
He could have John Coltrane. I mean, because this album, of course, this album's great, but he could have probably played something even better at like a little bar that no one ever recorded, and just like keeps me like wanting more. And that's why I want to listen to that new one you were talking about, that platinum one, because I want to hear other versions of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And from what I can gather from this NPR article and one other piece I read that I don't want to cite because I don't remember what it was, but from my reading, this is a bit of a gem and a bit of a find, because recordings are so rare.
Yeah.
And man, what a gem it is, dude. It's absolutely beautiful. I've listened to the original. Gas, exactly. I listened to the original part 1 acknowledgement, the live and the studio version. I don't know, like lots and lots of times, right? And just hearing it from another not perspective, right, but hearing it with new solos and like different timings. And
you're telling me, bro, is that this is the same backing band I played with them on that free jazz album.
Yes. So John Coltrane here, his performance is with his quartet, the John Coltrane Quartet is their name. McCoy Tyner on piano, Jimmy Garrison on bass, and Elvis Jones on drums. And as for this recording live in Seattle as well, um, absolutely amazing players, as can
Wait,
clearly be heard.
so they played on the original one too?
That I can't guarantee. I actually
Because
don't know if
that's what
they.
makes it probably different, bro. Is that these different players, because they played on the Free Jazz album with him, they're
Yeah,
bringing a whole different, a whole different vibe. If this is during his Free Jazz era, and
that's
that's crazy.
that's an absolutely good point too. But it might be the same people. I actually have no idea if he recorded
No,
it with
yeah. I'm
his
just saying
quartet. Yeah,
it's a theory that that's probably
yeah.
why it sounds not as like the recorded,
No, dude, that would be yeah. No, that's a really good idea. Honestly, that's a really good explanation.
Because
But
some of it does sound a lot crazier than the original album,
mhm.
especially the drum works and the solos are a lot. Maybe because it's live and maybe, but it's just a lot more.
And to explain to everybody too, the 1965 project Ascension was John Coltrane's first free jazz album. Free jazz was a movement in the mid 60s of jazz, which was like trying to get away from just kind of the restrictions and bounds of music in general at the time, right? No timings, no rhythms, no syncopations, just
Just
like
not following Western music theology, bro. Basically,
yeah, all the theory,
just beyond that, like,
So if you go listen to John Coltrane's Ascension, it's actually a really good way to get introduced to free jazz if that's something you want to study. It's honestly kind of like not, at least for me personally, I don't have the ear for it. Free jazz, it's but it really is meant to be more artistic than anything, and I think that's the beauty of it for me.
and
And
experiencing it live, I bet too.
yeah, and I bet live that shit goes hard, crazy. And but it's not like there's not like rhythms or repetitions, but you really have to listen to it to understand. But yeah, go listen to Ascension, and then you'll realize that you know the original, and then listen to Ascension as well as
The original
the
Love Supreme.
the original Love Supreme, as well as the new Live in Seattle one we're recommending. So you can kind of see what we're talking about. The original Love Supreme, right? It's very structured, it's very aggressive. Not like this new one isn't, you know.
Yeah.
But they are very very distinct from each other, and
Oh,
in
definitely.
very characteristic ways, very rigid ways that I wish I
The
could put
heroin
into
was hitting
words.
different, bro. I bet in Seattle, bro. The heroin was hitting different,
Oh, that's terrible. No, that's absolutely horrible.
bro. Don't do heroin.
Man,
Um.
but what an absolutely breathtaking performance from him and his quartet
Oh yeah,
here.
definitely.
Um, you know, geez, that threw me off.
I think this album it's just it changes my idea of music, because when you record it, it feels like it's a solid thing, but music's like a evolving thing, like speech, bro. It just changes every time.
Yeah, and that's to get back on track. I'm sorry, that reminded me of my point. Yeah, it's really hard to put into words exactly what it is that you're listening to here. It really is something you have to experience, and that's something I love about the quality of John Coltrane and his performance, all of his performances of A Love Supreme. Love Supreme is very much an album that you experience, not just you listen to, and to know what it is to like is like this album it really does remind me of like the feeling of love, because love you can write about and love you can hear about in a song, and maybe it'll make you feel a kind of way, but it won't really tell you what love is. To know what
Yeah.
love is, you kind of have to like be in love, and then you know what love is. And that's kind of how I feel about A Love Supreme. Like, to know what a love supreme is, you just kind of have to listen to it. It's a very
Or at least part
yeah,
two. At least
at
part two.
least
Because I think
yeah.
part two, oh, we agreed that it's the best one. I like part two more.
Talking about resolution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, part two is my favorite. Part two is actually one of my favorite pieces in music, just period. I'm an absolute I'm absolutely in love with part two resolution, and like seeing it um with new life here in the Live in Seattle recording, like I'm absolutely ecstatic. I don't know if you guys can tell I'm all giddy about this. Like, I absolutely love this album, and seeing another rendering of it is just, it fills my heart with so much joy. Especially done so uniquely and so beautifully. It literally feels brand
Yeah.
new.
And in our generation, man, um, we have a lot of dead artists when they release, music after they died and not really liking it. And it's felt like they're doing the dead a dishonor. But with this, I feel like they really honored John Coltrane by releasing it for us. You know what I'm saying? So we can
Absolutely.
appreciate it. It's not like demos, and it's not for, oh, I mean, it's probably for money at the end of the day, but it really is like a whole new experience.
Absolutely. And it's such a, if I were to describe it, I think I'd call it spiritual. I'm not really a spiritual dude, but this album really, it feels
He's
like
got a
it's
whole religion,
speaking
bro.
to you. Yeah.
I mean,
you know, it's so wow. This album is absolutely incredible. It's such a piece of art. It's like yeah, there's what else can I say? I everything I say just kind of all blends together because I'm basically just yelling at you to go listen
go
to
listen to it.
go listen to this album. And listen, if you haven't listened to A Love Supreme yet, if this is your first hearing of it, I definitely recommend it. It is a jazz piece, but it is a very, very unique jazz piece. John Coltrane. You might have heard the name just in passing, just because of how massive of a star he was in the jazz scene. Yeah, absolutely legendary career, one of the pioneers and my favorite jazz musician of all time for sure.
Imagine a new
Like a new
giant.
Michael Jackson live recording or something.
No, a new. Imagine I'm talking about Coltrane, like a new Giant Steps recording.
Oh, that would be crazy. It's just
Just even
it's
gianter steps. No.
big. Yeah, the biggest steps, right? Giantest steps. Oh, geez. Yes.
Yeah, John
John,
Coltrane, live in Seattle, the home of many artists. Where's John Coltrane from? I'm trying to think.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. But that's a good amount of trivia. And yet I'm not even gonna go. Usually we go through the track list, but there's really no point in doing it. You
Oh,
must listen to the whole thing front
I
to back.
wonder if there's like a live video with it, bro.
I think I was reading in the NPR article that there was a bit of a video that you could see online.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, he's from North Carolina, so
I'll let me copy this right now so I can send it to you so you can put it in the video description too in case any of you guys
oh
want
yeah,
to read this NPR
yeah.
article.
We can put the articles, and if you find the video, we'll put that all in the link and the links below.
Yes. Also, so you want to get into shout outs or do you have anything left to say about the album?
No, I just think if you want to get into jazz, if you really want to push listen like your ears, because sometimes it's for some people, especially me in the beginning, you really gotta challenge yourself and sit there and like really listen to it. And yeah, and I think that's it. I mean,
Absolutely,
it's
yes.
John's culture. It's John. His name. You can just say his name and it speaks for himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I don't have to say any more about him.
Yeah.
The music does it. Like I can't. You know.
Yeah, listen to it. if you've ever listened to us before, this is the time.
But yeah, let's shout out. We got a shout. We have a new hip hop album to shout out. Is it
Yes,
well not new, but new this year? You know.
The one I wanted to shout out, and we were gonna talk about today, but honestly, it just didn't kind of seem appropriate to talk about like both of them at the same time. It seemed like we should just celebrate this as it was, and then just give Larry June a shout out because I do love this new Larry June Through the Late Night album that he made in collaboration with
Cardo.
Dude.
Cardo got wings.
Cardo's a pretty prolific producer out here on the West Coast.
You've heard him with Wes Khalifa a bunch of times. My favorite Cardo thing is not even a beat. It's when Playboi Carti Die Lit dropped, and he's like, "Damn, this new Cardi is gonna make me get leather pants," and I was like, "Cardi's so cool." But yeah, I mean, this is like a Bay West Coast type album. Cardo's doing his shit, making the album, making the beats bounce.
Yeah, and Larry June from San Francisco, Bay Area rapper, I believe. Super. Him and Cardo, he really does his best to mend with Cardo and flow on his style, and he really does. I think him and Cardo make an absolutely great team here and have a great collaboration. Very super West Coast album. If you love West Coast sound, you can't get enough of it. Looking for something fresh, the new Larry June album, Through the Late Night.
Don't try it. Don't try it's fire. what I really appreciate about the album is that's only 7 songs, and like it might be short for some, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, absolutely that. And my favorite one was definitely the first one. Like that's the one I go back to the most because he has a when he comes in with the second verse, he's like, I was just gonna do one verse, but fuck it, I hit this weed. I love that shit so much.
uh, and they both Cardo and Larry, they both got their own characteristics, you know, their own things that make up them, especially ad lib wise for Larry and beat wise for Cardo. They each have their own things that make it, you know,
Yeah, they're really well defined artists, and they're really charismatic. Like you when it's Cardo, when it's Larry June. And Larry June, what stood out to me from Larry June was he was on that Hitler Wears Hermes project with West Side Gun.
Yeah, and that was a more boom bap song.
Yeah, and he was, I really appreciated his style, and that I liked him so much on that it made me go out and look for his latest project. And this is what it was. It was a West Coast album, Ricardo, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. If you're at a party and you're like, fuck, I'm out of shit to play, just play this album front and back.
It makes it bounce. It's a bouncy album.
Any more shout outs on your end, Benji?
No, I guess if we're gonna just shout out John Coltrane, shout out Larry June, Cardo.
Absolutely.
Just shout out, I guess, everyone who's still listening, who wants to listen or who's gonna listen, I guess, or watch.
There you go. Hey, go listen to this album.
Both albums.
Go listen to both albums. Go listen to the platinum version. You can listen to the whole 4 hours. You got 4 hours to spare. You got 4 hours of time. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you haven't heard the original, I would say listen to the original recordings and then get into the live versions, and just really enjoy it. Really digest this. Just appreciate it because it's so legendary. If and also tell us what you think in the comments. Go ahead, write down. Let us know maybe your favorite part. Like me and MJ agreed upon earlier. Part 2 resolutions are our favorite.
Yeah.
To me, it's just legendary.
The drums are crazy on that song. I can't explain it.
Yeah, Pursuance though, even Pursuance comes in with the drum solo right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So like, I think Pursuance has my favorite drums, but Resolution's my favorite song. But anyway, geez, yeah, and also, if you know somebody that's not really into jazz music, and like you don't really know what to show them, or you're trying to show them something jazzy, I don't know, show them John Coltrane, show them this album. This album is like I would compare it to something like beyond a theatrical experience. It's like it's something that really makes you be like, wow, art is something that can change your perspective on things.
Definitely the power of music.
This is, yeah, you'll feel it.
All right, then. Well, I think that's it for today. Hopefully we could get back, school and stuff, and life's getting to us. So
yeah, we're gonna try our hardest to be a little more consistent here. We're still on the music grind. We're still listening to albums,
Well, at least we're always trying to get more on the YouTube, but at least once a month, if anything. But definitely more in December. We'll do it in December. We could probably do one in person.
You want to do a review of Mariah Carey's? We're gonna do a 1 hour special of "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey. We're just gonna talk about that song for an hour. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Like,
retweet, subscribe,
comment, and wipe your ass, take a shower,
brush your teeth.
Don't drink so much alcohol.
Hey, we're gonna get you guys these music recommendations. Damn it, Hey, shout out to everybody that's been giving us feedback on this. Being like, yo, like I listened to the new West Side Gun. Yo, I listened to the new Gumbo by Pink Seafood. Like, that's awesome. It's really cool to hear that, and it's awesome to see that all these like smarter artists, maybe we'll see them before they're absolutely massive, and they'll never look back. And right now's the time to get their tickets because they're so cheap. All right, but yeah, I hope y'all have a lovely night.
God bless.
Absolutely. This is Grizo MJ signing out.
MJ signing out.